investigation, Lieutenant Timmy Thompson from Queens North Homicide, the two case detectives, Detective Carmine Caruso from Queens North Homicide, and Detective John Benzor from the 112 Precinct Detective Squad. Good morning, everybody. Last night, while detectives were canvassing for video, they observed a male who was wanted for questioning in a horrendous homicide. He voluntarily came back to the 112 precinct and made incriminating statements. Today, that male, David Bonola, male, 44 years old, residing at 10418 114th Street in Queens, New York, is being charged with murder in the second degree, criminal tampering in the first degree, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree in relation to the death of Orsolya Gaal, female, 51 years old. This investigation is still preliminary. There is a lot of work left to do.
Hey y'all, how are all my beautiful friends doing? I hope y'all all are having a great week. In today's video, we are going to discuss the case that I recently just covered about Orsolya Gaal. Her former handyman, who she was recently having an affair with for about 2 years, actually ended up getting arrested this morning. Like I said, I recently just covered this case, and if you want to check out that video, I will leave it up here, as well as I wanted to point out that in my last video, that case was very fresh. Not a lot of coverage had been out, so it was hard to find facts about these cases. Different articles said different things, and I was literally filming it the day that the news broke out about Orsolya. Whenever I find conflicting reports about a case, I always mention that it is conflicting, that some articles say one thing and another article says something else. So if I ever get anything wrong, please leave it down in the comments below. But I try my best to report to y'all the correct information. I do not like hearsay, and it's hard with cases, especially new cases, because a lot of the media, they don't get everything right all the time. And law enforcement was not really speaking about this case when it first came out. I spend hours upon hours researching these cases, many different articles, as much facts as I can find. I just try my best, so please just keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm just going to briefly explain. Orsolya's 17-year-old and her husband was out in Oregon searching for colleges when this horrible, gruesome murder occurred. Her 13-year-old was upstairs at the house during this time, and he was brought into questioning the morning that they found Orsolya, and he was released. She was found around 7:30 in the morning on this past Saturday by a man walking his dog. His dog started sniffing this bag, and he went to open it, and at first he saw feet, and he actually thought it was a mannequin at first until he realized that there was blood on the bag, and he noticed a blood trail, realized that it was an actual human. So he called in police, and because of that blood trail, that led investigators straight to Orsolya's house that was not even a half a block away. Friday night, the night before her murder, Orsolya went out to an opera show at Lincoln Center in Manhattan with her friends. After that, she took a train ride to a local bar that is in her neighborhood, and she was a regular there. It's called Forest Hill Station House. She ended up ordering a Moscow Mule and ended up staying about 45 minutes. She was texting a few people when she was at that bar. Some say that it looked like she was planning on meeting somebody and nobody showed up. She ended up leaving that bar around 12:20 in the morning. And from my understanding, it looks like she walked back home. It's only like a 10-minute walk, and this was pretty common for Orsolya. She would walk around her neighborhood at nighttime. She even, at one point, I think this was in 2020, she reached out to a Facebook group and posted on there asking where she could get some mace or pepper spray because she liked to walk and she just wanted to be safe. The manager at this bar said that she was extremely kind, just like everyone else said, that she was just super sweet and caring and would never meet a stranger. She talked to everyone, and she ordered a Moscow Mule, which is her usual, and just hung out, talked to staff before she left. Cops did say that there was no forced entry into the home, and it seemed like she ended up knowing the killer. They believe that the stabbing happened on the first floor of her home. So there's a first floor, there's a basement, and then there's an upstairs where her 13-year-old was sleeping. Had no clue what was going on, that his mother was being murdered right below him. And I cannot imagine how, especially this child feels, because he was actually in the house. Police also suggested that the stabbing was 55 times and it was complete overkill and a very passionate crime. So even more evidence that she knew this person, because I mean, come on, y'all. That anybody that follows true crime knows that if something like that occurs, it's usually someone you know, and suggests that they are pretty angry. But police do not feel like this crime was premeditated, because the crime scene, they said, was extremely sloppy. The killer left several pieces of evidence, including a bloody t-shirt, bloody bandages, and bloody boots in the trash can outside of Orsolya's home. This killer also went to a local hospital to receive medical attention for his wounds. Now, this killer, they were coming out saying that there was a handyman that Orsolya was having an affair with for about 2 years, and they were no longer together. But he knew the house very well. He also knew where the family kept a spare key to the home. You also see this guy on Orsolya's Facebook page leaving hearts, saying how beautiful she is, just commenting on her pictures. Once investigators found out about this handyman and their former affair, they started digging deeper into who this person is. His name is David Bonola. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he is 44 years old. They brought him in for questioning, and he confessed Thursday morning. He said that he ended up striking Orsolya after they had a very heated argument. Police did arrest David, and he faces second-degree murder charge, possession of a weapon, and criminal trespassing. It's not quite clear yet from what I have seen. Now, by the time I upload this video, it could all change and more information could come out. But from what I have seen, they believe he either walked into the back door and they ended up getting into an argument, or he came in himself. They believe he used a knife from inside the home, then went downstairs and grabbed a hockey bag that was one of her child's hockey bags and placed her in the bag. And then, as we saw in my first video from surveillance from somebody's doorbell in the neighborhood, he ended up dragging that hockey bag down the street and abandoned it by a local park. And then he started walking back to his residence in South Ozone Park. It has not been said if David has entered a plea or if he even has a lawyer yet. And I was wondering why second-degree murder, but I came to realize that police have said that they do not think that this was premeditated because of how sloppy the crime scene was and all the evidence he left behind, as well as the blood trail. You might as well just put breadcrumbs when you're walking away, because that's exactly what it was for investigators. So second degree, if you do not know, it means that it was not premeditated. And first degree means that it was premeditated and completely planned out. I'm sure more information will come out as time goes on, like it always does. And I really hope that this family can get a little bit of closure. I know they have a rough road ahead of them. Now, since he was commenting on her Facebook, this is just me talking out loud. So, you know, we're just talking here. Did the husband know that they were having an affair, or did he just not care? Did they have an open marriage? You know, there's so many questions, but they did post pictures together on Facebook. So they looked pretty happy. But again, social media is very deceiving. So I don't know what happened in that situation. If the husband knew about this affair, a lot of people thought that he ended up hiring somebody to do this. A lot of people thought that the 13-year-old had something to do with this. And I hope y'all eat your words, because to blame a 13-year-old for doing this to their mother, I know it's not unheard of, but this child is innocent. He was literally upstairs sleeping in his bedroom. I know my daughter, when she goes to sleep, she has the TV on and plays music. So he probably literally heard nothing. And that breaks my heart because you know she fought back for her life. She ended up having defense wounds all over her hands, and she was probably screaming, and oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I hope she rests in peace. I hope she gets justice very, very soon. I know it's coming, but I hope it's soon. And I hope her family can forgive themselves for not being there, or for being there and not hearing anything, and just find the strength and courage to accept what has happened and move on. I know that is easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But I mean, I'm praying that they can for their own mental health. I do have more videos coming, so stay tuned for those, I promise. Actually, I wrote down in my live, I wrote down a few video suggestions that y'all had made, and one of those is coming up very, very soon. So make sure that bell notification is on so you don't miss out those videos. And if you want to watch more, at the end of this video, there will be a playlist and another video suggested to you. So go ahead and binge watch some videos if you're bored. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I appreciate y'all for watching and all your support and kind words on my channel. I cannot explain to y'all how much that means to me. You have literally no idea, and I know I say it all the time, but it's really true, and I hope y'all understand how much y'all mean to me. Also, thank you so much for all your love on Steve Harvey. I cannot believe that happened. I cannot believe that I cried on national television, but that was real. That case was completely real. I've had a few people ask me if it was real, and yes, it is. And she lied throughout the whole thing, by the way. But thank you so much for all your love and support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join this amazing community I have over here. I am so blessed because y'all are some of the sweetest people that I have ever met. Like, I have a very close circle in my real life, like my friends. There are some people that I've known my whole life, 10 years. It's just a very small circle, and y'all are just so kind and loving, and thank you. But that is it for today's video. I will see you in tomorrow's video, and yeah, y'all have a great day and be safe out there. Please stay aware of your surroundings and just be safe. I love y'all so very much. Bye, y'all.